my name is Shuttle Bunny, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be reacting to Game Theory, how Pewdiepie lost YouTube to T-Series. Now, if you haven't seen the, basic, or recent, is what I was trying to say, not basic, recent YouTube trend is how T-Series is going to surpass Pewdiepie, because, let's see, hold on just one second. So, currently, Pewdiepie is at 66,405,196. T-Series is at 63,200,711. I might have said something there wrong. I'm just all over the place today. But right now, currently, that is the YouTube sub count for both of T-Series and Pewdiepie. It's going to happen. I feel it's going to happen. I feel that T-Series is T-Series is ranking up a lot of subscribers, more than subscribers than Pewdiepie I think has ever done. Anyway, so originally leave me down in the description below. Go subscribe to the Game Theory. Before we start this video, make sure you like the video. Subscribe for more videos like this. I never usually say that. But anyway, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Those links will be down in the description below. And let's just react. Sorry about that noise that was up there. That was just the fan. I guess I forgot to turn it off, and I just now turned it off. So let's watch.
Gather round, all you bros and non-bros, as I tell you the story of how Pewdiepie got dethroned from the #1 most subscribed spot on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm just gonna retry it. Make sure to cut this out, Connor. Sorry about that noise that was up there. That was just a fan. I just now turned it off. But without further ado, let's just react. Sorry if you can't hear me in the video. I just have no idea why. The video itself is loud. But I'm going to make sure if I have to say something, I'll pause the video so you guys can hear me. It's going to be a long one. This video is probably going to come out to at least 30 minutes long. I don't know. Let's react.
Gather round, all you bros and non-bros, as I tell you the story of how Pewdiepie got dethroned from the #1 most subscribed.
Hold on just one second. Sorry about that. My freaking volume wasn't up enough.
Spot on YouTube.
Classic intro, if I'll say.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, the show that, I've heard through the grapevine, gets passed around by YouTube employees whenever I do a meta theory about how the platform works. So, hey guys, good to see you again. Sorry you missed out on the ending of the FNAF franchise, but that's okay. Hey, by the way, thanks for watching your own platform and your creators. Glad you survived the GDPR. Sorry about that whole European Article 13 stuff. Let us know what we can do to help. But now, guys, I need to talk to, everyone. You know who else apparently sees these episodes? Other YouTubers, when I do episodes that talk about them at least. Hey, I don't blame them for skipping all the other episodes about FNAF and Luigi's Ding Dong. Doesn't speak to their interests. Anyway, in the spotlight today is
Luigi's Ding Dong. Oh my god.
Pewdiepie. Again, for what honestly may be the very last time. I can hear a Swedish accented sigh of relief coming from across the ocean. But seriously, I am a huge believer in Pewdiepie, even if I sometimes don't agree with how he delivers his jokes. I just want to put my pro-Pewdiepie support out there since it's easy to confuse an analysis of what he does with a critique of what he does. Okay, well, that video was a critique. Anyway, I've said it for years offline, Felix is one of the smartest creators on this platform in a way that the media doesn't really give him credit for, evolving himself himself and his brand no less than 3 times over the course of his career. Away from gaming before gaming on YouTube started to take a hit, he transitioned into comedian, commentator, reactor, voice of the platform, and eventually the destroyer of memes that he is today. And deviating from what your audience loves to watch you do is a huge challenge on YouTube, so to do it 3 times or more is really impressive. It's not an accident that he just passed his 5-year anniversary as the largest channel on the platform, but it's also not an accident that this will be the final few weeks he's able to celebrate owning that title. You see, all good things must come to an end, and PewDiePie is about
it's gonna happen in a couple weeks. In a couple of weeks, it is gonna be the anniversary of T-Series surpassing PewDiePie. Hold on, let me just look at this. Hold on 1 second. Let's see where they stand right now, cause I want to see this. Freaking video won't play, but anyway, I'll worry about it later. It's gonna happen. PewDiePie, you got a couple weeks left, and then you're done, buddy. You're done. T-Series is, oh my God, they're gonna kick you out the window.
Hand over his YouTube most subscribed crown to a new channel hailing from India, T-Series. A channel that right now is gaining over 100,000 subscribers a day. Over 3 to 4 million subscribers per month.
5 mil on YouTube in 6 months. Never done before.
Sorry, Jake. Looks like you got punched in the face one too many times. Check your math. 23 million in 6 months, and you got yourself T-Series. That ain't never been done before. Anyway, it looks like T-Series should be passing PewDiePie in less than 2 months from when I'm writing this, and probably only a couple weeks after this video comes out, especially given that the more videos that draw attention to this massive transition, the faster it's gonna happen. But if that level of growth to you, 23 million subscribers in 6 months, seems weird, well, that's because it is. T-Series has some unusual things going for it. This transition is more than just a YouTube channel going from #2 most subscribed to #1. This is a statement on the global shift in power. An upheaval of...
I want to say this. There's only 3 channels that I know of that are past 40 million, and that is PewDiePie, that is T-Series, and then you got Justin Bieber. Whatever.
Old guard and a byproduct of a massive battle going on for the future of the internet. And if you think I'm exaggerating, I am not in the slightest. So in this episode, I'm gonna show you how this channel is literally the perfect storm of a YouTube channel, and also indicative of this battle that's going on for the future of online culture. And when I'm done, the fact that T-Series is taking over YouTube won't just be surprising, it'll seem almost inevitable. Here's what I mean. To start off with, the first factor is kinda obvious: lower competition. This is the argument I used way back in the day about how PewDiePie took over YouTube, and in the media coverage for T-Series, I've seen a lot of coverage that cites that theory. And sure, this is certainly a part of it. T-Series is a big fish in a small creator pond in a massive audience ocean that is India, where YouTube has 225 million monthly users. T-Series is one of only a small handful of channels that are professionally produced, and no one is going to be able to touch them when it comes to content quality and sheer number of uploads they're doing. Between 4 and 6 fully produced, beautifully done videos a day. It means that when you start a new YouTube account in India, what you're seeing first and foremost on the homepage is, you guessed it, T-Series. Recommended videos, recommended channels to subscribe to. For each and every new Indian YouTube account that's made, their T-Series is front and center. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Next, T-Series is primarily a music channel, which at first might not seem like that big of a deal until you look at the top 100 channels on YouTube. Notice something? As of the day I'm writing this script, 38 of the top 100 YouTube channels are music. It seems insane when you think about all the other types of content that exist out there, but it also makes a ton of sense. Music is broadly appealing, it's global, it's international. You can listen to it no matter what age, race, or gender you are, and it's infinitely replayable. There's a reason why YouTube spent most of 2017 in an excruciating standoff with all the major US music labels in order to keep music on YouTube. We should probably be thanking them for it, by the way. The music industry is run a lot like a mafia. Anyway, the point is that YouTube stands to make massive amounts of money from music channels. Oh yeah, and it's also been known to do a little creative math. shall we say, when it comes to subscribership of those channels to appease the egos and businesses around music's biggest stars. For instance, when Meghan Trainor established an official YouTube channel, YouTube funneled all the subscriptions from unofficial Meghan Trainor channels into the official channel, essentially auto-subscribing them to an official Meghan Trainor channel to make it look like she had a substantially larger presence on the platform. Except, of course, they did it all in one day, meaning that Meghan Trainor magically gained almost 9 million subscribers overnight. Oops. Now, do I think that's what's going on with T-Series? Not necessarily. With less competition and a lot of super valuable music content at their disposal, T-Series does have a lot of negotiating power to use to get what it wants out of YouTube. But even if YouTube isn't juicing the numbers on their...
And see, that would make sense. Like I said before, the three, channels that are past 40 million, one of them is Justin Bieber, which is, if you don't know, for the people who are new to life, is a, music channel. He does music.
behalf, their videos are the pinnacle of what advertisers want, making it ideal for getting a ton of organic promotion in YouTube's recommended algorithms. With how much money there is to be made in music and how much leverage music content companies like Vivo have, there is a serious incentive to promote T-Series wherever and whenever YouTube can, because doing so is just a win-win for both parties. So, T-Series has less competition and is in a content category that YouTube really cares about right now, but that only helps them indirectly, except that they also get direct access to YouTube on top of that. Other people have pointed out that T-Series is a production company, which is 100% true, but almost no one has pointed out that they're also an MCN, or multi-channel network containing at least 10 channels, all of which are over 3 million subscribers. Being an MCN gives you a direct line to YouTube that most regular creators don't have the privilege of, since, there's just way too many creators out there to make that sort of thing work. And since their MCN contains a whole bunch of huge channels, not just one, all those channels can be used to promote each other. If you want to know why that's so important, you can watch my episode on YouTube Watch Loops from last year and how they made Jake and Logan Paul popular. It's worth another look to understand how related channels can launch each other into massive success. I'll leave a link to it right yeah. Gotta love those iCards. So that's already a lot, and that alone would be enough to ensure that T-Series is having a lot of success on YouTube, but not the levels of success that it's having on YouTube. So what if I told you that there's a lot more riding on T-Series being the #1 channel on YouTube than just bragging rights and the rabid scrutiny of places like Vanity Fair, the BBC, and the Wall Street Journal? That's right. This is a much more significant moment than people realize for YouTube, for all of social media, and for international politics. Here's why. To understand why T-Series is going to be the #1 channel on the platform, we have to know a little bit more about the state of YouTube, and frankly, the state of the internet as a whole. There is a massive war going on the other side of the world from where you, the majority of game theory viewers in the US, are. The war for the internet in India. That's right, this is a real thing, and it's having massive implications for the future of media. And Google, the advertising behemoth who owns YouTube, is looking to win, but one big thing is standing in their way, and his name is Felix Pewdiepie Shellberg. Think it sounds far-fetched? Think again. Internet penetration in the US... Stop giggling. Internet penetration in the US, which is basically a measure of how many people are online, has slowed in the last couple years. It's still going up, but at this point we're pushing 90% of the people in the US who are on the internet. So it's like literally everyone except for my grandmother. That's actually not true. She actively watches the live streams, she stalks my tweets, and she sends me way too many animated emojis. Grandma's so proud of you, honey, but you forgot to factor in gravity during that Fortnite meteor episode. You too, Grandma! Anyway, practically everyone in America is online these days. India, though, isn't like that. At least not yet, but they're coming online fast, with massive growth rates since 2011. It's the world's second biggest market and still has huge untapped potential for bringing people online. Enter the big players of Facebook, Google, and Microsoft. As of April of this year, people in India use WhatsApp, a Facebook property, more than any other app, followed by Facebook Messenger, another Facebook property, which means Google, and by extension YouTube, have some catching up to do if they want to be competing for the hearts, minds, mobile data, and most importantly, online advertising space of the Indian nation. Right now, there are over 850 million people not online in India who are viewed as up for grabs by these companies. Why? Well, it's important to remember what we think of as social media sites are all just really advertising sites when it comes down to it. Facebook, it's an advertising website where they show you pictures of your sister's new dog dog in between ads. Google is an advertising website where you get to search for stuff so that they can advertise to you better. YouTube is an advertising website where they show you cool videos that fuse pop culture and learning, hosted by a cringy yet endearing host who loves puns too much. Videos that you probably just want to subscribe to by ringing.
Maybe it's a calling, a labor of love, or simply the thing that you're best at. Whatever you're driven to put into this world, we're here to help by powering over 2 million websites worldwide. Bluehost, we'll power your website, you power the world.
Ringing the bell. The reason why it's so important for YouTube and Facebook to be appealing to Indian internet users is because the bigger the user base for those apps, the bigger the advertising base they can tap into. And while YouTube is behind Facebook at the moment, if the top channel on YouTube is a native Indian creator, or at the very least features content created by native Indian creators, the site all of a sudden becomes a much more Indian-friendly platform, at least based on statistics and in all of the PR press coverage about YouTube. These companies are going after the Indian market so aggressively that Indian media is actually calling Google, Facebook, and Microsoft digital colonists because they're invading the country like actual Europeans did 200 years ago. And you might be asking yourself, what's wrong with getting Facebook and YouTube in India? Everyone should be able to watch Jeffree Star drive a hot pink Rolls Royce. I know, I get it. The thing is, it gets really complicated. To win over users, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook are offering stuff like free internet or free data with stuff like Facebook's Free Basics program to help rural India come online years and sometimes even decades before the country's own infrastructure would be able to support it. This allows a lot of great things to happen, allowing kids to get a better education, allowing people to bring businesses online, and allowing individuals to connect with each other in ways that they couldn't before. And all of those are incredible. However, it's also a power move for these companies who know that if the population starts using their products, they'll be hooked on them for years, allowing companies like Facebook to recoup their investment and, more importantly, keep their competitors like Google from getting there first. The other thing that most people don't realize is that big businesses influence everything, including politics. And that's where people are starting to get really nervous. After getting our ears talked off about Russian bots tampering in the US elections, you'd think that the US was the one with big social media problems when it came to politics, like Google, from getting there first. The other thing that most people don't realize is that big businesses influence everything, including politics. And that's where people are starting to get really nervous. After getting our ears talked off about Russian bots tampering in the US elections, you'd think that the US was the one with big social media problems when it came to politics, but we are nothing compared to India. In India, fake news is everywhere, and recent elections have been completely overrun with false campaigning. Worse yet, what people really don't realize is that companies like Facebook work directly with candidates or elected officials in order to help them build their social media presence. So the line between educating a public figure about social media and helping a political campaign can start to get really blurry really fast. For instance, quote, in India, the company Facebook helped develop the online presence of Prime Minister Modi, who now has more Facebook followers than any other world leader, end quote. Working directly with the platform makes a huge difference, and doing favors for big world leaders also puts these huge companies in a good position to negotiate when it comes to laws that help them. On top of that, if the people of your country really love a company or a service, it makes it really hard to regulate those companies. Imagine if the US government tried to pass a law that limited the hours a day that you could use Facebook or YouTube. It would have no chance. Those sites are too important in people's lives at this point. So the long story short, there is...
That would suck. Like, that would literally suck if the government had to do that. Boy, frick. Need my glasses. I had to go do something in that cut, and I guess I took my glasses off. Let's get back.
Huge money and influence to be had from any social media company who can embed themselves in a country. And in this case, the country on everyone's mind is India. In order to get that money and power, though, Google needs to start ingratiating itself to the users of India, which means Google Plus. Just kidding, it's YouTube. But in order to do that, they need to make YouTube a priority in India. Or rather, they need to make Indian YouTube a priority in India. If you're like me and you follow all of YouTube's social handles and literally see every every customer complaint ticket they address, you know they've been eyeing India for a long time. Back in 2014, YouTube started India Fan Fest, where they brought creators from around the world to a major city in India. In 2017, it was Mumbai, to talk, perform, and meet fans on the ground. It seemed like a weird move given that in 2014, India only had 16 channels over 1 million subscribers. Compare that to the top 100 channels in the US back then, all having 3 million subscribers and over. But FanFest wasn't meant to serve
I just saw Connor. Oh my days.
a huge fan base at the time. It was meant to grow one. Events like FanFest made it clear that YouTube cared about Indian creators, but more importantly, it cared about inspiring Indian viewers to watch and Indian creators to develop and grow their own audiences in the country. As of 2018, FanFest is expanding to all the Tier 1 cities in India. Using the same build it and they will come mentality, YouTube also built a full production space in the Bollywood Film District in Mumbai, giving any creators in India access to production equipment, space, resources, and film school-style classes. As a result, India now has 5 channels in the top 100 most subscribed on YouTube and 12 channels out of the top 100 in the most viewed category. That means having over 7 billion views. And at this point, I'm sure you're saying, okay, great, everyone wants viewers in India, but what does that have to do with T-Series? Now, this is all important because in the race for internet users in India, T-Series represents exactly what YouTube wants in this system. It's a channel that does music, behaves professionally because it's a production company, produces a ton of content that's brand friendly, and is honestly a fantastic symbol of this entire battle for the internet. It sends a clear message to viewers in India about YouTube. YouTube is a home for you. It's a place where Indian content creators not only succeed, but also dominate. You should be watching YouTube because it's not just cool videos, it's cool Indian videos that you yourself can make and consume. So after all of that, you can see how the rapid rise of T-Series isn't a matter of luck, and it is certainly no coincidence. It's a major production company that actually owns a ton of enormous channels, all working in a low competition country to produce music, the most sought after of all content on the platform. The country they're working in is also the biggest hotbed for technology growth in the entire world, with every social technology platform begging to pour money and resources into supporting them, promoting them, and exposing them to new fans and new users. Those same platforms are looking to undercut all the other ones and win over the hearts of the second biggest country in the world so they can rake in billions of dollars and potentially influence the politics and industry of India for decades to come. So yeah, Felix, this might not be a train that you can stop, but in all seriousness, if you think I credited your success to some outside factors, they would have literally been nothing compared to the advantages that T-Series currently has here. And while they're the first major production company to top the charts of YouTube, I am pretty sure that they won't be the last. I honestly think that this transition is the end of individual channels winning out on YouTube when it comes to subscribership, and the start of this new era of production and media companies topping these charts, which honestly is really sad. Pewdiepie, not only the longest to hold the title, but the last. And let's all you theorists rally together and get game theory up there. Subscribe buttons down below, you know where to click it. If you're in India, spread the good word. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm off to learn Hindi. But wait, actually, I need to address a bit of drama that headed my way in context of this episode. Felix, I get that the video I did on you 5 years ago bothers you.
I still hate it, and I think he should delete it.
You think that I pegged all of your success on your status as an international channel, or that you somehow circumvented the system. The thing is, at the same time I made that video, I was actively working in YouTube analytics. Not at YouTube, but as a consultant for some of the biggest channels on the platform. And I saw the effects of being a successful international channel. I saw it in the data time and time again. English-speaking international channels would cross over into the US very easily, giving them huge views in their home country and in the US. But US channels trying to cross outward into a different country had to hit a certain threshold of views in that country before something in the data just flipped like a switch, and then suddenly views started to pour in from that new part of the world. In your video, you even described seeing this for yourself.
When I started off doing YouTube, there was a lot of ways to poke through the system.
You describe American channels cheating the system of YouTube at the time.
What people did was they would set their channel as Swedish, even though they were American.
They did that by setting their channel's official country codes other than the US, where there was less competition to get onto the homepages. But here's the thing, if indeed this technique worked, which you seem to acknowledge,
It annoys me because I was so frustrated by this back in 2013.
then wouldn't you, by moving between countries while still uploading, whether you intended it or not, wouldn't it also work for you? You being an English-speaking channel whose channel country was set to Sweden and was uploading from multiple different European countries. whether it was intentional or not, you somehow benefited from the same system. You literally confirm my theory in your video critiquing my theory. But here's what I will say, because again, I like you and I respect you. I don't want to be a negative force in the YouTube community, and I don't want to belittle what you yourself have done. So here's what I'll say. I've worked with a lot of channels over the last few years, literally hundreds of channels since I first did that video about you. So if you do want to clear the books and potentially refute that theory that I did back in 2013, heck, let's do it. Hit me up on Twitter and let us figure out a way where you can share your channel's viewership data with me so I can see your analytics. If I wasn't right in my initial assessment, I would be more than happy to say it here or anywhere. 100% serious. Because the thing is, if I'm not right, then your data is going to be really interesting. And frankly, I would be learning something cool about your channel and about how YouTube worked in 2013, and I'm sure it's a story that a lot of people would be interested in. It was an important culturally shaping moment, so that data and that story is really important to tell correctly. And honestly, there's nothing to lose on your end. At worst, I just keep the video up and I don't do a correction theory. To me, learning something new would totally be worth it, even if it means publicly admitting that I was wrong. I know I get a lot of flack on this channel for being this know-it-all douchebag. That's part of the character of the channel, I think, and I'm pretty sure that I have it right, but I'm not an unreasonable guy. If I'm wrong, I am wrong, and I am totally cool with that. Heck, if I'm wrong, I'm really curious about it. And honestly, I don't want you to feel bad about what I said, or that I'm taking away your accomplishments or anything, because you've done really good work on this platform. Anyway, the ball's in your court, okay? Okay, Brofist. You don't do Brofist anymore, but okay. Hey, by the way, thanks for including us in that meme review that one time. That was really funny. See, I watch your content. But hey, that's just a challenge. A YouTube challenge. Hopefully we can work something out, Felix.
Just a theory. A game theory. I had to do it. I had to do it. Well, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. This was pretty cool. So I guess we don't have long before T-Series finally beats PewDiePie. Actually, I'm kind of happy for it because I've been so tired of PewDiePie being the most subscribed. It's going to be a big game changer. It's going to be a big game changer. And I'm guessing that there is no Ruby play button because I don't know if there really is just a Ruby play button. There could be. There could be. I mean, I don't know, but I've never seen T-Series open a Ruby play button. Quite frankly, I don't think I've ever seen them get their diamond play button. Maybe I just haven't watched. But anyway, thank everyone so much for watching. It's gonna be pretty cool when it happens, and I might even live stream it happen. Leave a like on this video if you want me to live stream. Leave a like and comment down below if you guys want me to live stream T-Series beating PewDiePie on YouTube, because I will do it. I will do it, and it'll be so cool, okay? Like, I'll have parties. I don't know what I'll do. It's going to be so cool. So thank everyone so much for watching. And as always, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye-bye.